major central banks in the aftermath of the global financial crisis, but the lack of any meaningful inflation since in both developed markets and emerging markets has surely reduced concerns about fiat legal tender issued by a central bank money.
So they finally read the white paper. They finally read the white paper. It's only been almost 10 years. And they say, oh, the ballooning debts. That's what, caused somebody with a concern to do battle with the terrorists in the central banks. And they say that we printed lots of money, but there was no inflation, failing to recognize that there was no wage inflation for people. There was asset inflation for your punk enablers, asset stripping mongers, and terrorists, but wages didn't go up because using financial engineering, woo, wages, no mas, they don't go up. Woo! Minorities, black folks in America, no, they didn't get nothing. No, they're in the wrong gerrymandered quarter. Nothing for them. So it's all smoke and mirrors. And I hope now, I'd like to see the faces of these bankers when they realize that the game is over and they're about to be run over by a steamroller. They're like, ding, 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 ding.
Really funny stuff, but I mean, he does bring up a valid point that, we have been massively basically pumping money into the markets. Central banks have been printing money like it's never been printed before. And what's even more interesting, with the new U.S. budget coming, we just added another $1.5 trillion of debt. And it's just really interesting that, Republicans are supposed to be fiscally conservative, but we decided to, with the Republicans spend $1.5 trillion more than Obama. But I mean, it doesn't matter what political party's in there. This is just a trend that's been happening where, people are getting more and more in debt. I mean, all these companies are super leveraged. The entire stock market is leveraged with capital. And for a long time, this is okay because interest rates are low. And now they're eventually going to have to raise the interest rates, and we're running to this issue where they printed a lot of money, and where are these assets going to, and the biggest issue is that, all of this wealth has been going obviously to people that own assets, right? So the people that created the financial crisis, they're the ones that are actually getting rich. I mean, this is one reason why millennials are so broke is that, they can't afford houses. School got super duper expensive thanks to student loans. Real estate's super overpriced, because of loans. And who benefits from this? Well, the people that own a bunch of assets, and those are the same people that kind of control the central banks and our government. So they're really good at making themselves rich, and they decided that, wages, the people that are doing all the work, they don't deserve, any of that wealth. And so that's one reason why people are looking at cryptocurrencies as an alternative, is that the banking system is, in a way, I mean, if you really do some research, and not to be like Illuminati or anything, but the banking system is very one-sided, and that's why the banking system is creating all these billionaires. It's off of you guys, right? You're putting all your money in JP Morgan, and, someone like Jamie Dimon is just slowly stealing your pennies, and he becomes super ultra wealthy. And, what do you get? A $25 fee and zero interest. And obviously they do not pass these profits to their workers. I mean, banks are very hesitant to, raise salaries or hire more employees, and especially with, technology, they're trying to outsource. Whenever I call my credit card company, it's always going to the Philippines, and they're trying to basically have these ATMs and stuff take the the jobs away, because that way they don't have to hire as much, and JP Morgan's CEO can make 70 million instead of 50 million or whatever. But this is a big problem. If you haven't had a chance, check out Max Keiser on YouTube, subscribe to him. But this is one reason why I want to hold crypto is I don't like the banking system. I don't like how it's creating a concentration of wealth for a couple of people. They basically created this system where they're super inflating real estate, which once again, this is good for me. I was lucky that I was able to start buying real estate in 2010. And, it is making me rich. And in fact, most of my income and net worth comes from real estate, but it's from a corrupt system. And what it does is it's screwing my generation over. People my age, I'm I'm in my 30s. You know, they can't buy real estate. A lot of my classmates, I went to USC for my MBA program, and obviously I would say 50% of my class, you know, had bank of mom and dad, so they're not going to be in debt. But you know, the other 50%, man, they're $200,000-$300,000 in debt, and even if they're making six-figure salaries, once they're paying their car, their rent, and all this other BS, they're hamsters on a treadmill. They're literally just living paycheck to paycheck, even though it's a six-figure paycheck to paycheck. And this kind of system is really good for the bankers. You know, they want you to stay in debt. They want to keep taking money off of you. I mean, it's modern slavery. You're basically a sharecropper. And you know, what's the revolution? What's the Uber? It's cryptocurrencies. You know, this is a big FU to them. And like I said, there's a lot of problems with cryptocurrency, but you know, the main reason I'm invested in cryptocurrency is I don't want to see bank CEOs making 60, 70 million a year. I don't want them charging me bullshit fees. I want that money to be, you know, going to entrepreneurs. I want it to be going to businesses. I want it to be going to jobs and employees so they have money to pay me rent for my real estate. So, yeah, I don't know if JP Morgan, you know, for the most part, like I said, these banks, they know it's a threat, but we're going to see what happens with time. And like I said, you know, the regulation will be very interesting too, because, you know, once it is properly regulated, I do see a lot of these bankers actually investing in these currencies. So only time will tell. But like I said, if you got a chance, check out Max Keiser. I think he has some great content on YouTube. And if you're watching this channel and you haven't had a chance, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I will talk to you guys soon.